Jesse Harris. I'm a software implementer at a technology company located in Sandy, Utah. I'm an ordinary guy with a wife, a kid, and a couple of dogs in the middle of suburbia. I've been working with technology since I was old enough to use a keyboard. I'm particularly interested in telecommunications and have been blogging in favor of municipal broadband projects for the last 3.5 years at freeutopia.org. When I saw Google's announcement that they wanted to partner with municipalities to build an all-fiber open access network reaching between 50,000 and 500,000 homes, I immediately thought about how Utopia is a perfect fit for Google's project goals. Over the course of this video, I hope to present a compelling case for why Utah's Utopia project is the best partner for Google's experimental fiber-to-the-home network.
Many of you may not know what Utopia is. Utopia was founded by cities frustrated at the lack of next-generation broadband in their cities. Many of them had broadband service that was slow, unreliable, or simply unavailable to most or all of the city. It did not take them long to determine that fiber optics was the way of the future, and that the needs of the city and its residents would be best served by upgrading the entire telecommunications infrastructure to fiber optics all the way to the customer premises. Some cities, such as Linden, even offered to pay incumbents Qwest and Comcast to install this infrastructure and were turned down. Because the cities knew that fiber optics were necessary to economic growth and quality of life, 14 of them banded together to form an interlocal agency called Utah Telecommunications Open Infrastructure Agency, or Utopia. 11 of these cities chose to back the construction of the network using sales tax pledges, with the remaining cities being built out from system revenues. Since that time, 2 additional cities have joined for a total of 5 non-pledging cities. They have opted not to financially back the network, but have granted Utopia the right to build in their cities as funds become available. There are also a number of other cities who have expressed interest in Utopia in the past. Utopia encountered significant resistance to its very existence. The state legislature prevented cities from bonding for more than 50% of the total construction costs and mandated an open access wholesale model. Meanwhile, Qwest sued Utopia over pole attachments and delayed construction for 18 months. Qwest eventually lost the lawsuit, but the damage was already done. The original plan to use revenues to complete the rest of the network was dashed to the ground when the USDA's Rural Utilities Service unexpectedly refused to provide authorized reimbursements for network construction. Utopia was forced into a situation where the cities had to increase their financial commitment to the network in order to avoid federal receivership. Utopia still has financial challenges as a result of these early setbacks, but they have managed to create a robust long-haul fiber backbone, offering service up to 1 gigabit and providing long-haul transport. They have also implemented a creative financing model where subscribers pay for the cost to install the network over the course of 20 years through a city-backed special assessment area, a first in North America. Utopia continues to explore creative new ideas and be on the leading edge of municipal fiber optic networks. This innovation would pair well with Google's pioneering spirit. Partnering with Utopia can offer Google some significant advantages over many other project areas, both in terms of the quality of user and effectiveness of the money spent. The user base in Utah is exceptional for determining how various people use big broadband. The areas covered by or proximate to Utopia fiber include a mix of urban and rural communities, various socioeconomic classes, significant student populations, and a young tech-savvy workforce. Utah is home to world-renowned technology companies including Omniture, Symantec, and even Novell, a company once chaired by Google CEO Eric Schmidt. A recent survey shows that 83% of Utahns go online. Utopia currently has fiber in the ground over a wide geographic range, including a backbone that reaches from Tremont in the north all the way to downtown Las Vegas. Utopia fiber is within a short distance of the vast majority of Utah's population and provides a route via Las Vegas to major data exchange points in Phoenix and Irvine, California. This means that fiber deployment that builds onto the network will be for reaching customer homes, not building a NOC or laying brand new backbones. Construction would also be much easier with Utopia. Instead of having to negotiate pole attachments, right-of-way, and franchise agreements, why not partner with an organization that already has those in place? Utopia has full rights to build in all member cities, and as a result of the lawsuit that Qwest lost, has no problems with pole attachments. Utopia also has a significant number of neighborhoods with a high percentage of aerial runs. These runs are significantly less expensive than the trenching that may be required in other cities. Utopia also brings extensive support from service providers. At current, Utopia has 9 service providers on the network, all of which offer voice and data service. Several offer video service from competing video head-ends. They have also been in negotiation with a number of other providers who would like to join the network. If Google partners with Utopia, that will only attract even more providers, which is a major win for consumers. Utopia's core principles are also solidly in line with Google's aims. They are committed to the open access model and refuse to consider building inferior wireless infrastructure, preferring to leave such efforts to creative and enterprising private service providers. The ultimate goal of offering significant bandwidth is to remove any and all friction that could prevent a new and innovative service from getting started. This is exactly the same goal that Google has. Because of the existing infrastructure and arrangements with municipalities, this is a shovel-ready partnership. Utopia can start construction immediately, not in several years. There's no city council approval to navigate, lawsuits from incumbents have been settled, and future legislative interference is minimal. Because of existing fiber projects in Provo and Utopia cities, there is a significant amount of local experienced labor that can quickly and effectively deploy network infrastructure.
An investment in Utopia has the potential to affect a very large portion of the nation's population. Once Utopia is able to cover operating expenses and debt service, any revenue beyond that will be used to expand the network. A relatively small investment in building out Utopia in member cities has the potential to make service available to well over 1.8 million Utahns along Utopia's backbone. This includes a large number of rural and farming communities along the I-15 corridor, many of which do not have access to quality broadband. The national impact of Utopia's success cannot be stated clearly enough. Many cities have resisted building these next-generation networks on their own after having witnessed privatization efforts in Provo and Utopia's continued financial struggles. A bold investment in Utopia is a clear signal to thousands of communities that they can and should take charge of their telecommunications destiny.